I will bet meat on it. There's no goal that you cannot attain as long as you believe. I swear. I swear. Nothing you can attain as long as you believe. And it starts there. It starts and finishes there every time. So, hi. Hi, doll. How are you? Thank you so much for coming back again. I missed you, and I hope you missed me too. I am here with a new video this week. Last week, I ended up missing completely because I was so stupid sick, like nasty sick. I don't even know when the last time I've been that sick, but we made it and we're here. And so that's what's up. I want to say that I definitely want to thank you for coming on this journey with me. I know it's very, very, very early in the journey, but every single view, whether it be 1 or 7, means so much to me. And my gratitude is high, genuinely high, especially considering like it was like pulling teeth trying to get me out here. So thank you for taking a chance to listen to me, and for any likes or comments or shares. Like, I'm super, super grateful. So thank you. Thank you very much. As you can see in the title, baby, this week's deep dive is going to be around becoming your own dream girl. I wanted to make sure that I start saying repeatedly that my reason for this YouTube channel is to appeal to those who feel like they weren't given the tools early on in life to be this certain kind of person or reach for these certain kind of goals, or to have high thinking thoughts of themselves, because I feel like I have a very special perspective on this lane. Like, I was raised in a single parent home. My mom raised 5 children. She did a very good job. And she raised me to be independent and raised me to be thoughtful of my life goals and thoughtful about my appearance and things of that nature. And it was important to me because we didn't have anything. We didn't have we didn't not we didn't have anything. We weren't rich by any means, and my mom still strived to make sure that she gave us the best that she could within the confines of the budget that we had, which was always always low. And so I take pride in encouraging those around me who assume that you're only as good as how much money that you have. That couldn't be further from the truth. Do you understand me? Anything and anybody can look amazing. It definitely starts with a mindset, because you have to believe that you're worthy of looking your best. You would be surprised how many people out here walking around and have already told themselves that a little extra effort is, they're not worthy of putting forth a little extra effort. So they look bare basic or just downright raggedy because they don't believe that they should look quality, or looking decent, or caring about your appearance or how you conduct yourself or carry yourself is for certain people. Okay? So, um, my overall message now into all of eternity, and anyone that you meet who knows me, you can do anything, you can have anything, and you can be anything. You can achieve any goal that you want to, and you will always win as long as you start off with faith. All you need is a little bit of faith. Like, you don't have to know where the resources are going to come from, or you don't have to know, oh, I don't have the people in my circle to support me to get me there. Don't worry about any of those things. The biggest part of faith is just saying, I can do it. I desire it, and God wants me to have what I want. And so I don't know how I'm going to get there, but I do know that I'm going to get there. And I'm just going to continue getting up every day and doing a little bit more and doing a little bit more research and whatever else you're led to do. And you're going to get there. I promise you. I mean, I will bet me on it. There's no goal that you cannot attain as long as you believe. I swear. I swear. Nothing you can attain as long as you believe. And it starts there. It starts and finishes there every time. So, going into this video, as you can see, the title is Be Your Own Dream Girl. So, of course, this is kind of more directed at the girls, the gals, the dolls. But it doesn't have to be just for the girls. It could be, really can be for anybody. These steps, these things, these thoughts, these processes can go for anything. Really, they can. But because I'm a girl, and because I initially didn't understand what it was to become your own dream girl, nor did I hear anybody say it, nor did I take any courses on it. It was just a journey that I ended up on, and I very much dove in, like, deeply. Like, the moment the idea of this was introduced to me, I was always looking for more. I want to hear more. I want to see more. I want to understand more, because I'm going to do everything that it takes to apply these steps to me. Okay? So let's get into it. Be your own dream girl. How did I even get introduced to this thought? Now, back then, I didn't know that this is what that was, should I say? But there always was questions about things. So when I was a young girl, I grew up in church, right? And so my mom very much dressed us up in very church girl attire. It was always appropriate, the length, the fit, and it always, you were clear that we were going to church in our attire. You were bet your bottom dollar, baby, we was heading to the church house. So I remember always doing that and looking my best at church, and then the school thing. So really not really doing much else except for church and school growing up, because we didn't really get to do a lot. Like, I didn't really get to go to games or parties or any of those things. And so this is all that I knew, right? And so then when I got older and moved out of my mom's house at like 19, I was definitely clubbing with my girlfriends. I was definitely clubbing with my girlfriends, right? But you guys, I was going to the club looking like Kojic chic. It was real Kojic chic. Do you hear me? Like, I remember very specifically. I remember very specifically. I had met this lady who was a booster, Random story. I was leaving a Ross because I was going looking for clothes. And this lady was outside and she was like, I got some dresses. You want to buy them. And I was like, girl, let me see what you got. So I bought 4 dresses. They were very nice. Till this day, I really would wear them. But they were like a more of a satiny material, flowy, very girly, feminine. Okay. Very feminine flow. And I, being the church girl that I am, I was like spaghetti strap, low cut, flowy, flowery. It's absolutely screaming club attire. It was screaming to me back then, very much club attire. And you couldn't tell me no different. I tell you, one night I put on one of those dresses, child, and I had on some slingback stilettos. First of all, what 19-year-old is wearing slingback stilettos? Me, baby. Me. You know what I'm saying? So I remember getting out of the car. I mean, you couldn't tell me nothing. I'm halfway through the parking lot between my car and the club front door. And this dude coming out of the club, drunk as a skunk, he was like, you look like you're going to church. And I was like, well, I never. How dare you? So I was like, he don't know what he talk about. And let me tell you, I sure enough wouldn't have been there. I don't think I heard anything else, but I can guarantee you everybody thought that. Looking back, I can't believe it was that. But fast forward, getting a little bit more exposure. I always wanted to apply for the highest position that I could based on my resume and my education. And so I was always looking to be in an office setting. I like the idea of being a businesswoman. Like that really excited me. And so when you're moving into higher up positions, you have to, pay attention to what's in your closet. And my closet was full of like church attire and like work clothes, but it wasn't the work clothes that I would want to wear. And so I remember very specifically, like, oh, all I got is church clothes and like lounge around the house clothes, and then also like whatever fancy clothes, whatever. So that was how I would gauge what to put into my closet. Fast forward, when I started to get more into dating, I was starting to dissect some of the women who I admired and like within my age bracket. And I was like, okay, well, this is the type of man she's attracting. That's the type of man I would like to attract. What is she wearing? Kind of deal. And what am I wearing? And being thoughtful of that then. But it was just light. Like, oh, let me just get that particular outfit. Or maybe that kind of outfit is only for that kind of girl. Not really knowing or understanding then that I was a very feminine girl, very feminine, but I had never heard the word feminine. In my sphere, in my world, I absolutely cannot remember a time when I heard the word feminine. So when I saw other feminine girls, they had that it, but I didn't know what that it was then. But I also, because I didn't know it, that word, I couldn't attach that word to me. So when I saw it, and then I also didn't have people in my world saying you're so feminine, I didn't think I was that girl when I was, but I never had anyone tell me I was that girl. No one told me that I was that feminine girl. So I always just saw those girls as those girls that get those kind of guys. And these are the kind of guys that I get. If that you guys are running with the mindset around that. So early 20s, and then fast forward, I'm very much a thinker. I think very deeply about things. I need to dissect what's happening in this situation, or what am I needing and how do I get there. Oh, my brain is I have a very strong mind. And if I can see the end goal clear as day, once I see the end goal, I've already seen myself in the end goal, and I literally am working backwards from the solution to where I am present day. Once I lock in on what I can see, you can't tell me nothing. There ain't nothing or nobody that can stop me from getting to the end goal, because that's how strong my mind is. But it sometimes, when I have not been exposed to certain things, it takes me time to do research, digging, questions, involving myself, submerging myself in different environments to see, hear, smell, taste, understand what that is, because I want it. So I need to figure out what that is so that I can figure out how to get there, if that makes sense. And so, my last 10 years, 40, no, last about 7 years, I have been heavy into, how do I be my own dream girl. I can always remember there being someone at different stages in my life, the women that I thought were just so beautiful, or so this or so that. I would even pay attention to women who would hold their fingers a certain way, very soft and dainty, or very this and that. My mom, she very much is an alpha female, and she is rough handed. She's rough handed. And so I didn't know that that wasn't a normal thing until I would run into women who were not that. And when I noticed that they were very intentional, but they weren't rough handed, I was like, you're not rough handed? How do I not be rough handed? And I remember even when my daughter was younger, she would be like, Mommy, you're like, you touching me too rough. Like, that was too hard. And that stood out to me, because in my younger years, I would be like, I want to be soft. Like, I want to have that soft, girly touch where you feel soothed, as opposed to, like, you know what I mean? And so when my daughter would say little things, I would be like, I'm on the wrong path. I got to get this right. So that definitely was the more, I wouldn't say minute things, but those are the seeds that were being planted along the way for me to be open to the idea of of growing to be a more evolved version of myself. Here we are, 2024, and the title is very much "Be Your Own Dream Girl," and it definitely is. You can't not understand what that means, because it just makes sense. You have that dream girl. You're not attracted to women in that way, but she's like, oh my God, I wish I could be her. Because that girl in your mind, you feel like she's gotten everything that you want and you have yet to receive. And so you want to make some changes, because what do they say? You have to be the change that you want to see. And so if you want to change your environment, you want to change the people you're attracting, friends, and people that you're dating, or planning to marry, you want to make some adjustments to yourself. So this is where we are. And so I kind of just wanted to bring you along a little bitty little things of where I've come from and where I am right now and how I got here. But here I am. My daughter is 19, and so it's more important to me more now than ever that I am thoughtful of how I'm presenting myself, because whether we want to believe it or not, or agree or not, our children and the people in our sphere, they are watching and they are emulating. And I don't want to do more. I don't. I have to transition to a space where I'm doing less talking and more being, because they pick up on that. And so I want to be as authentic and as what's the word? I want to be as authentic and genuine and natural as possible, because I don't want to come off as I am performing, because as you know, lights, camera, action, when that camera is on or when you're in front of people, you are very much performing. But when that camera is off, you kind of revert back to that other version of yourself. And I want to transition to a life that is attainable and manageable. And I can become this person, and it's creating more flow and softness and happiness for me, to where I want to stay on this side and not feel like I have to revert back because being a certain way is too much of a heavy burden or a heavy lift, or it's taking too much energy out of me. So, because my daughter is watching, I am always learning, growing, dissecting how I'm showing up in the different areas of my life and how I want to be perceived, as well as how I want my daughter to experience me. So, my motivation is definitely me. I want this for me. I want to be ever evolving. I am very much turned on, intoxicated by this journey of growth. I mean, it just feels so good to go through my journal and see who I was in 2013, 14, 2009, 2017, 2020 when COVID hit. Like, just to see my growth, my trend. It was very much a transformation several times over. Transitioning to a new level and maximizing that level, but knowing that that wasn't enough. And not good enough, but not enough. This isn't the end. And always surrounding myself with people and things and entertainment that encouraged me to want to look deeper and learn more, because the thought of me growing and evolving was and is so exciting. It just is. It makes me feel alive, should I say. Evolving and growing makes me feel alive. Like, have you even looking at some of my old videos or photos, and when I tell you, like, some of my old birthday photos, looking at some of those some of those birthday outfits, they were not bad. They were not bad. But baby, have I come a long way. I have come a ways. Do you understand? A ways. And it's only because I thoroughly enjoyed that stage in my life, and I maximized that stage, and I gave myself permission to enjoy that stage. And because I enjoyed it, it like checked off all of the boxes. And then the me naturally evolving, it made me want to see, what else can I wear? What else can I do? Where else is my look going, hair wise, clothes wise, body wise, appearance, smell, jewelry, vocabulary, all of the things. So I try my best to kind of show up and really own whatever it is I'm doing in that time that I'm in life. Because if you are doing it because you're trying to impress somebody, or if it's not genuine or natural, you won't quite progress from that stage, because you're not there authentically. So you're not fully present and enjoying that look, that season, whatever that was. Is that making sense? Like, you have to be willing to like fully submerge yourself in whatever that decision is and enjoy it, so that when it's time to move on, you don't have any regrets. There you go. when you're in all of these different stages that you're evolving into in life, they need to be authentic, because when they're authentic, you fully submerge yourself in them, and then you don't have any regrets when it's time to move on to another stage, whatever that is. My daughter is very much a fashion girl, and she definitely gets that from myself and her dad. And one thing I do offer her, which I didn't really get, my mom was extremely strict, and she wanted to make sure that we presented ourselves a certain kind of way. And everybody wants their child to present themselves a certain kind of way. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if it's at the detriment of that child being able to be creatively expressive and free, then they're going to be they're gonna be stuck in that stage. Like, you know how sometimes you run into people and they are so behind. Like, why are you still dressing with those like double platform pumps from like 2009? What happened that you never got over these double platform pumps, or whatever that look is like, or you find a guy with like or just whatever the look is. I'm telling you, like super baggy. Like, they don't really do the super baggy anymore. So it's like, why are you so stuck in the super baggy 3X t-shirt when your size is really a large? Like, why are you stuck there? Like, did something traumatic happen in that stage and you're just stuck there mentally? So that's what I mean. Like, I just kind of want my daughter to enjoy where she is in the stage of life, to where it's not something that she's thinking heavily about. I had to think heavily about it because of the way I was raised. It was very much, you make sure that you look appropriate and you fit in. And was it fit in? Yes. But I think that saying that out loud feels kind of harsh. So I don't want to say that, but I'll put a pin in that for now. But my daughter is a college student. She's doing very well. She's in her sophomore year. And, I do know that, they have different styles that they're dressing in. And so some things I don't necessarily like, and I definitely like, I don't like that so much. I kind of don't want you to get too deep into that, but I don't beat her over the head with it, because I do know that she won't be stuck there, because she's not being forced to stay in a look to appease me per se. For the most part, I definitely much respect and love her fashion sense. She knows what looks good. She knows how to put things together. And so even if it's something that she's chosen to wear, I know it won't be long before she's trying something else. And so I just kind of just go with it. I just go with it. And also I'd be excited to see what she gonna come up with next, because it just be so inspiring. Like, girl, you really put that together. I would have never put that piece together, but you did that good. So I know that she's on a good path, and she's heading in a really, really great direction. One thing I asked myself in the journey of becoming my own dream girl was, who is your dream girl? And I would say somebody like a Kelly Rowland. There definitely are others. Tika Sumpter, as far as aesthetics. There are so many women that I would say I would love to look exactly like, wanted to look exactly like, right? And then I had to ask, but and why? And it would be like their hair was always great. Their hairstyles always fit the frame of their face, the shape of their face. It always matched the glamorous life that they were a part of. So they never underdid it. It was never like, okay, that was kind of underwhelming. Their clothes always fit their body shape and their height. It was always complimentary. The way they showed up, their makeup, the way they walked. I would even like pay attention to the way these ladies and other women would hold their hands, or the way they would stand next to their friends in photos, or next to their spouses or their partners. I paid attention to those things, and all of those things mattered to me. I also paid attention to their makeup, the different lipstick or the different lipsticks they wore in the different seasons. It was just so many things. The way they would answer questions that were maybe not so appropriate, or maybe not so respectful, or the way they would respond to things that, weren't so nice. Like, I really paid attention to those things. And I initially would try to emulate them, but I wanted to do more. I wanted to be the best version of me. So I would start asking those questions, and then I would ask myself questions based on where I was in my life, and tailor my needs based on me. And so, of course, I'm not going to do a glam look every day, because I'm going to a 9 to 5, and I'm a mom, and I'm, doing a lot of things. And so I had to learn what I had to practice, like, everyday makeup looks that absolutely look like I put effort into myself, but also didn't look like, not look like, it didn't require me to be in the mirror for hours. I needed to be able to do a no makeup look that was 15-20 minutes max, and it looked good, and I felt amazing when I left. That was the goal. And so I would figure, okay, well, I'm not that great at foundation, liquid foundation. So I got into the MAC pressed powder. That was very easy for me. Initially, I wasn't wearing any color lipsticks. They just felt too grown for me. And so I didn't do any of that, but I would definitely have like a tint. And so eventually I transitioned into color. It took time. I just kept doing, like, getting colors a little bit deeper, a little bit deeper, a little bit deeper, until I trained my eye to be comfortable to see deep colors on me. And so here I am, full color. You hear me? Tonight, I think it's like a matte pink, but color, I love color. I love a bold color. And I also learned what works best for me, like lining it with a neutral brown, or make sure my colors were my different shades of pinks or reds or purples or whatever those colors were. The undertone had a blue undertone, because I have a blue undertone skin. I have my skin undertone is blue, and so I had to learn that. So, like, the pink undertones don't work for me so well, or I have to do a lot more doctoring up to make it work. So, anyways, figuring out the look that I wanted and how to achieve it for me, and being very clear about the look. I actually went out of my way to go through magazines and find that one look that worked. And I just kept doing it over and over and over and over and over until I got it right. I still cannot do a winged eye, I'm telling you. And I have not figured it out quite how to do a color mascara. Not mascara, but eyeshadow. But I'm gonna work on that. But I think I'm just so happy with the looks that I do that I kind of don't focus much on the wing or the eyeshadow. But I will, actually, because I kind of want to transition into a little more glamorous. So those were some of the things that I knew that I wanted to do to transition. And so I started feeling good aesthetically. Also, looking for things like, if your job is not like a fancy place, which most of our jobs is not, I went out of my way to not purchase a lot of high heels. Stilettos and high heels, they're cute, but they kind of are not, I won't say not appropriate, but they're not helpful at work. When you're sitting at the desk all day, them high heels are uncomfortable. So I don't like those little flat patty melt shoes. I freaking hate them. I do. And so I was like, but the flats work the best. And so I would go out of my way to find like, there's a pair of flats that I have specifically that are like completely flat black flats, and they're bedazzled out in white pearls, and they just look so fancy and so pretty. They're slides, and they're black matte with a little sheen to it, so that gives a little shiny fanciness. And the top is completely covered in white pearls, like all different shades of white pearls. And then I have two other pair. One has a big beautiful bow over the top, and then one has a really cute sling back, and the back has a bow on the back of that. And so just doing what I needed, but get looking for the things that really made me feel like I was elevating my look. And so those things started making me feel like my own dream girl for work. Not not liking the idea of looking old or the idea of trying to look like a teeny bopper. So I maybe will buy like a few turtleneck dresses that are not skin tight but not are like two sizes too big. Those are appropriate, and I really like the way those look on me. And then pairing it with like a bomber jacket. Do you know what I mean? And so, are you guys following my mindset around these day in, day out looks? Because you have to be your own dream girl every day. It's not just when you're taking photos or when you're going on a date or when you're going somewhere fancy. Honey, you got to be your own dream girl all day, every day. You need to feel good about the way you look and how you perceive yourself every day. Every day. Every day. There is no days off of not being your own dream girl. You don't have to be walking around with boas and feathers throughout the house, but you do need to feel really pretty when you put it on that super simple full length gown, spaghetti strap, I don't know, full length nightgown. It does something to the way you even feel about yourself, the way you sleep, the way you wake up. You just have to understand and know and believe that you're worth these tweaks, because you wouldn't say that your dream girl, this was too much effort for them. As a matter of fact, if you saw your dream girl on an off day, you would wonder what was going on with her. And so if you're wondering what's going on with her on an off day when she's not looking dream girl-ish, you need to have the same thoughts about yourself. Do you know what I mean? The same 2 feet that you put inside a pair of pants to go to work that are maybe got those little lint balls on them or whatever, it's the same 2 legs you need to put into a pair of pants that fit properly, that are ironed or at least wrinkle free, that hit your ankle properly, that don't drown or dragging on the floor. These things matter. They matter. And if you're on the journey to becoming your own dream girl and these things don't matter to you, you got some more conversations you need to be having with yourselves. You need to be having these conversations regularly. You need to be talking to yourself regularly, because you are on this journey with you. And so you need to be constantly checking in with yourself. How do you feel today? Why was today not the greatest day? Okay, what can you do to work on that or to eliminate that? I work out. I work out a lot now. It wasn't. I Working out was never introduced to me growing up, but I wanted to start looking a certain kind of way, my body. And so I decided that I wanted to find a personal trainer. I would have people saying like, you don't need a trainer, you can do this all on your own. But me checking in with me, I'm lazy. So when it comes to me having to find time in the day to research the different exercises for the different body areas and how often I should do it and all, no. I couldn't do anything I put my mind to, but I don't want it. And I'm not going to do it. And I'm not going to start because you keep telling me that I should be able to do it on my own. I don't care about what you think I should do. I'm going for what works for me. And another way that I get to lean more into my softness is me reaching out to people who can help me on my journey. Instead of me doing what I used to do and being the superwoman and the alpha female and the masculine female of doing it all on my own. I was a one man bandstand. I was a one woman show. I don't want that anymore. And so, me going out of my way and finding people who are great at doing nails, who are great at doing hair, who are great at exercises and getting my body where I need it to be, I'm gonna do it. So I get to show up with no effort on my part, as far as the research and the digging. I get to show up to your establishment where you've done the work and I pay you for your services, and you walk with me hand in hand on this journey to a better body. And then I get to take my behind home and we're back. Do you understand? And that all of that time that I saved, not having to do all the research for working out, I got to use it to do something else. And so, those are some of the things that I do. I enlist people on my journey. I grew up being the helper. Now, I won't say I've never had any help, but because I was so used to being the helper that I never accepted help or asked for help. And that worked against me tremendously. When you're in the presence of your dream girl, you want to help because you see her as feminine and soft and balanced and needing help. And I want to show up in that space to where people want to help me too, just like I want to help others. And so I had to go out of my way to relinquish responsibilities that I put on myself because I no longer wanted to continue showing up as the I got it girl. I got it. Oh, yeah, girl, I got it. I don't worry about it. Girl, I don't need your help. Listen, when I tell you you'll never hear that out of me ever again, you won't do it. Because even if I do have it, you want to help. And I want to learn how to properly accept your help and also be able to show up for you too. This is part of the journey of being your own dream girl. And so I think that I am coming along this journey nicely. The progress that's being made, it just feels fantastic. I absolutely love where I am right now today. The progress that I made. I don't think I saw myself being here, and my 2020 me would be so proud of me. My 2014 me would be so proud of me. And I can't wait for my 2030 me to see, to look back and see the progress that I made, because I really look forward to celebrating all of these stages of my life and continuing to pass along what I've learned and what I've experienced. But I really do hope this video was beneficial to you. I have so many more things that I want to continue on this vein, so I'm going to come back with a part 2 and maybe even a part 3. But I just am so excited about this journey. This journey is not just for some people. Anybody, matter of fact, everybody. There is no anybody. Everybody needs to be on a journey to becoming your own dream girl. We may call it your own dream girl today. It may be something else tomorrow, but you know exactly what I mean. Do you know what I mean? And the goal is to become the best version of yourself. And I would like to say if you give yourself time to listen to your heart and really pay attention to your ins and outs of all of your days, what you want and who you're meant to be is screaming loud and clear. But the question is, are you listening? Are you listening to your heart? Are you listening to your soul? Are you listening to what God is telling you? Or are you continually going down the same path because it feels familiar to you? Those are the questions you need to be asking yourself. So I'm going to end that. But I will be back this time next week. Thank you.